Martin Hale was the kind of man people trusted the moment they met him, not because he had fancy clothes or a loud personality, but because his face carried the calm honesty of someone who lived his entire life choosing the right thing even when nobody watched. He lived in a modest little home near a quiet river, where mornings smelled like fresh grass and evenings sounded like crickets whispering to each other. Martin worked as a traveling merchant, selling simple things like spices, cloth, wooden toys, and small tools. He was not rich, but he was steady, hardworking, and known everywhere for treating people with fairness and respect. Every week he loaded his cart with goods and tied the ropes carefully so nothing would fall out on the road. Then he would pat Clover, his patient old horse, and start the long journey toward nearby towns. These trips had been part of his life for years, almost like a rhythm his days moved to. He liked the roads, especially when the sun touched the fields like warm honey, or when the breeze carried scents of pine and earth. Traveling gave him time to think, time to breathe, and time to appreciate small things that most people rushed past without noticing. One morning, as Martin was riding toward the next town's market, he noticed something lying near a patch of tall grass along the road. At first, he barely paid attention, thinking it was just a stone shining under the sun, but something about its shape made him slow the cart. Clover stopped with a gentle snort, and Martin climbed down to take a closer look. He brushed away the dirt and discovered a small, tightly tied leather pouch that had seen better days. He picked it up and felt its surprising weight. His eyebrows rose. It was definitely not filled with simple trinkets. A little uneasy, he loosened the string and peeked inside. Light bounced off the surface of dozens of gold coins, each perfectly shaped and gleaming like small captured suns. For a moment, Martin forgot to breathe. He had never held so much gold. His entire lifetime of earnings wouldn't equal even half of what sat inside that pouch. His hands trembled as he lifted a few coins, turning them between his fingers, wondering who could have lost such a treasure and how devastated that person must feel right now. A small whisper of temptation drifted into his thoughts. No one had seen him find it. He wasn't a wealthy man. He lived simply, perhaps too simply. With this much money, he could buy better land, maybe build a little store instead of traveling the dusty roads. He could finally give Clover a peaceful retirement rather than pulling a cart forever. The idea lingered for a breath, hanging between right and wrong like a fragile piece of thread. But then Martin closed his eyes and sighed softly, his voice barely above a whisper. "This is not mine," he murmured. "Someone out there needs this." He put the coins back, tied the pouch tight, and placed it inside the cart beside the spice crates. Clover flicked her ears, as if satisfied with his choice. Martin climbed back onto the seat, guiding the horse forward, feeling both the weight of the gold and the relief of knowing he had already chosen the honest path. When he reached the town, the market was buzzing with noise. Vendors shouted prices proudly, customers bargained vigorously, and little children darted between stalls holding pieces of bread or fruit. But Martin didn't head to his usual corner. He walked straight toward the old stone fountain at the center of the square and cleared his throat gently. The crowd didn't quiet at first, so he raised his voice, not loudly but clearly. "Excuse me," he said. "I found a pouch of gold on the road. If anyone has lost one, please come forward." His words sliced through the noise. People turned. Faces shifted from curiosity to surprise to disbelief. Almost instantly, several people rushed toward him, claiming it was theirs. A tall man insisted he had lost gold the week before. A woman shouted that she dropped hers near the same road. Another man swore on his children's names that the pouch belonged to him. Before Martin knew it, a loud argument broke out in front of him, voices rising like a storm he didn't know how to stop. He felt troubled. Why would so many people lie? Was gold really powerful enough to make people forget honesty so quickly? He stood quietly, waiting for the chaos to settle, not wanting to hand the pouch to anyone undeserving. He didn't know how to decide. None of these people looked certain. None seemed sincere. Their stories kept changing, and Martin's heart couldn't settle on a single one. Then, through the noise, a small, tired man with dusty boots and sorrowful eyes slipped through the crowd. He didn't shout or push. He just approached Martin quietly and asked in a soft, almost trembling voice, "Sir, may I please see the pouch?" The man's tone wasn't greedy. It was broken, fragile, like he already feared the answer. Something about that sincerity touched Martin. He nodded and handed the pouch over. The man held it gently, almost lovingly, as though afraid it might vanish. His fingers traced the leather, and then his breath caught. Slowly, he opened the pouch, reached under the coins, and pulled out a tiny folded piece of cloth with faded stitching. He unfolded it carefully to reveal a hand-stitched pattern of small green and blue lines, worn with time. He lifted his shirt slightly to reveal a matching pattern on a cloth bag tied at his belt. The stitching was identical. "My wife stitched these for me," he said, his voice cracking with emotion. "She made one for the gold and one for me to carry. She passed last winter, and these are the last things she made. I saved this gold for years. It is everything I have." The crowd fell silent. The arguing stopped instantly. People shifted uncomfortably, shame creeping onto their faces. The man wiped his eyes with the back of his hand, still clutching the pouch as though afraid someone might take it away. Martin felt warmth spread through his chest. There was no doubt now. The gold belonged to this man. "It's yours," Martin said softly. "I'm glad it found its way back." The man's knees almost buckled from relief. He grabbed Martin's hands and held them tightly, thanking him again and again, his voice shaking. "You saved me," he whispered. "You truly saved me." Martin shook his head. "You earned that gold. I only returned it." But the man insisted on giving something in return. He reached into the pouch, pulled out a single gold coin, and pressed it into Martin's palm with gentle force. "Please," he pleaded, "take this. Not as payment, as gratitude, as a blessing." Martin hesitated, then nodded slowly. He knew refusing would only hurt the man's heart more. The man hugged the pouch to his chest and walked away with quiet tears in his eyes, disappearing into the fading noise of the market. What surprised Martin most was what happened afterward. People in the market, who had witnessed the scene, began gathering near his stall. They bought spices, cloth, and little wooden toys even if they didn't need them. Some people simply pressed coins into his hand and asked for nothing in return. Others told him they had never seen anyone so honest. Each customer seemed to carry a gentle warmth, as though kindness spread like ripples in water. By day's end, Martin earned more than he usually earned in 2 or 3 weeks. He didn't expect a reward, didn't even think about one. But truth had its own mysterious way of returning to him. When he packed up his goods and guided Clover toward home, the sky was painted in quiet shades of orange and rose. A soft breeze brushed against his coat as if nature itself approved of what happened. As he rode home, he thought about how close he had come to choosing the wrong path, even if only for a second. The gold coin the man had given him felt warm inside his pocket, like a symbol of something greater than money. When he finally reached home, he took the coin and placed it on a wooden shelf, right above his small dining table. He didn't plan to spend it. It was a reminder, a soft, steady reminder of the day truth came back to him like a gentle blessing. Years passed, and Martin kept traveling from town to town with Clover by his side. His reputation spread far beyond the towns he visited. People trusted him blindly, and children waved excitedly whenever they saw his cart coming down the road. Some even waited just to hear him speak because his calm voice made them feel safe. Life stayed simple for Martin, and he liked it that way. But no matter how busy his days became, he always paused each morning to glance at the gold coin on the shelf, letting it remind him of who he was and who he wanted to remain. And long after the pouch of gold had returned to its rightful owner, the warmth of that moment followed Martin everywhere. It softened the hearts of people he met and lit a gentle path ahead of him. And though Martin never sought reward, somehow life always found a way to offer it to him. Not always in gold, but in kindness, peace, trust, and the quiet joy that comes from choosing the truth every single time. Moral of the story: truthfulness brings reward.